Good afternoon. We would like to thank you for the opportunity to present our opinions in the debate with the motion, is GPA still relevant as a measure of student success? This topic is very important to discuss because in a modern era like today, the benchmark of success is no longer only seen from academic grades alone. Therefore, on this occasion, we will explain why we think GPA is no longer relevant as measuring students' success. As we all know, the relevance of GPA as a measure of student success has become a hot topic in today's world. While GPA is often used as the main standard to judge students' ability, the reality is that changes on the job market, modern demands, and the growing need for soft skills show that our definition of success is shifting. That's why we believe it's time to question the relevance of GPA in measuring student success. Data from the World Economic Forum in the year 2020 shows that over 60% of major companies consider soft skills such as communication, creativity, and problem solving to be more important than academic grades alone. Furthermore, a JobStreet Indonesia survey in the year 2023 revealed that more than 70% of companies in Indonesia no longer prioritize a high GPA as the main recruitment requirement. Instead, they place greater emphasis on organizational experience, internships, and communication skills. Therefore, it is imperative to critically evaluate whether GPA remains a valid measure of student success amid today's complex global demands. Therefore, it is important to critically evaluate whether GPA is still a valid measure of student success amid the complexities of today's global demands.
To begin the argument from the pro side, it is important to recognize that GPA still holds a vital role in both educational and professional settings. GPA, or Grade Point Average, is an objective indicator that consistently measures a student's academic performance throughout their period of study. This score reflects the effort, disciplines, and learning ability that the student has demonstrated during their coursework. GPA can help universities, companies, or other institutions quickly and efficiently assess prospective students, employees, or scholarship recipients as an initial selection filter. According to data from JobStreet Indonesia, around 45% of companies were actively recruiting during the first half of 2024. Although companies are increasingly shifting their focus toward non-academic skills, GPA remains one of the initial considerations in the administrative selection process. This indicates the GPA still plays an important role in evaluating job candidates at the early stage. Many educational institutions and scholarship organizations still use GPA as a primary recruitment for graduation and scholarship eligibility. In the workforce, especially during the administrative selection, a high GPA is an important criterion in the initial screening of job candidates. A good GPA also serves a recognition of the effort and discipline shown during the study period, providing a sense of personal pride for students.
In contrast to the previous argument, the opposing view highlights that GPA doesn't fully represent a student's capabilities. GPA only assesses cognitive aspects related to academic abilities through actions and assignments without considering non-academic skills such as creativity, leadership, teamwork, and problem solving, which are highly needed in the workplace. Students with high GPAs are not necessarily capable of leading projects, innovating, or solving complex real-world problems. A survey by JobStreet Indonesia 2022 revealed that only 35% of companies still consider GPA as an initial selection criterion. After the interview stage, only 15% of recruiters view GPA as a dominant factor. On the other hand, work experience, portfolios, teamwork, and communication skills are considered more decisive. Many students with unsatisfactory GPAs actually excel more in soft skills and have brighter careers compared to those with high GPAs. Excessive focus on GPA can cause pressure and stress, as well as hinder learning motivation if students fail to see the relevance of course material to real life. A survey by the National Association of Colleges and Employers ranked GPA only 17 out of 20 important criteria in the workplace below communication skills, integrity, and teamwork.
In analyzing the relevance of GPA as a measure of student success, it is important to understand that today's job market and industry developments demand students to possess further capabilities beyond mere academic proficiency. According to a report by the World Economic Forum 2023, over 65% of new jobs require interpersonal skills and complex problem-solving abilities that cannot be measured by GPA alone. This indicates that student success cannot be solely determined by the number recorded on a transcript. Furthermore, a study conducted by McKinsey and Company 2022 revealed that 70% of companies in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, prioritize practical experience, communication skills, creativity, and leadership over simply having a high GPA. In fact, several case studies in Indonesia have shown that students with average or even low GPA are often more successful in the workforce because they were actively involved in organization, internships, and real-world projects that develop their soft skills. This demonstrates that GPA often overlooks practical skills that are more relevant to industry needs.
Moreover, the GPA system tends to disregard differences in interests, talents, and student background. A student who excels in the arts or creative fields may struggle to achieve a high GPA due to an education system that emphasizes cognitive aspect over the development of practical abilities. Therefore, GPA can be a biased and unfair benchmark for students who shine outside traditional academic performance.
Supporting this view, data from JobStreet Indonesia 2023 show that 73% of companies in Indonesia no longer consider GPA a mandatory requirement in the recruitment process. These companies place greater value on work experience, additional certification, and project portfolios complete by students. This clearly indicates a shift in the employment paradigm, which increasingly demands students to possess more adaptive and applicable skills.
In conclusion, the evidence clearly shows that GPA is no longer an adequate or comprehensive measure of student success. As today, job market demands a wide range of skill beyond academic knowledge, such as communication, creativity, leadership, and practical experience. Relying solely on GPA ignores the essential qualities that contribute to real-world achievement. The data from respected organizations like the World Economic Forum, McKinsey and Company, and JobStreet Indonesia further confirm that employers prioritize soft skill and hands-on experience over academic scores. Moreover, GPA often fails to account for individual talents and diverse interests, making it an unfair and limited benchmark. Therefore, it is imperative to reconsider the relevance of GPA and adopt more holistic approaches to evaluate student success that align better with the complexities of the modern workforce.